In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear brakes on this Audi A4. You're going to find these located behind the rear wheels. Let's get into it. In the trunk, lift up where the spare tire is. You can see where the toolbox is right here. Just lift the handle, slide this out. You can open this up. Inside, here's the ring that we're looking for. Take the center cap off, use the tool from the trunk. Just go in the hole right there, pull that off. Using a 17mm socket, take the lug bolts out. I'm going to hold the wheel on, take the last bolt out, just so it doesn't fall. And grab the tire, slide it off. Using an 8mm socket, I'm going to take this bolt out for the caliper bracket. There's one up top, there's one below as well. Pull that bolt out. And underneath here you can see the other bolt. Use the same 5mm hex. You may have to use a wrench, it might make it easier just because there's not a lot of room in there. Loosen that up, take that out. There we go. Now grab the caliper and the bracket, slide it off the rotor. I'm going to take this bolt out, use a 13mm socket. Grab the bracket, twist it. We'll just slide it off the pin. And take a caliper hanger. We're just going to hang it out of the way. Just make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. On the rotor, there should be a screw. You're going to use a T30 socket. This one's broken, so we just have a lug nut holding on the rotor. And you take the screw out and grab the rotor, slide it off. If it's stuck on there, you just want to hit it with a hammer. I'm going to clean up the hub surface. I'm just using a wire brush. I'm going to spray a little copper anti-seize just to prevent corrosion. I'm going to take the rotor. We'll just take some brake parts cleaner, rinse it down, and wipe it with a rag. Just flip it over. Do the same on this side. Wipe it down. Install the rotor. Line that up. And if you have that screw, you want to put that screw in and just snug it up. I'm just going to use some of the lug bolts just to hold the rotor on, so it doesn't fall. But if you have that screw, then the rotor will not fall. I'm going to take this bracket apart, take the old brake pads off, take the clips off. You can just use a straight blade screwdriver. And with a wire brush, we'll just clean this up. Take a little silicone paste or brake caliper grease just to prevent some corrosion, and put the anti-rattle clips or pad clips on. take out the pin, just grab that. You can wipe it off with a rag. If you need to, you can spray it with some brake parts cleaner. This one's not too bad. You can clean out the hole with a pipe cleaner style wire brush if you need to, if it was really bad, but this isn't that bad, so we're gonna just put a little silicone grease on, thin coat, slide that in. Just make sure it's secured on the boot. The boot looks good. The other boot looks good. We have the pin in the caliper, so we'll go clean that up. Now take the new brake pads, and you can see the curved part of the pad is going to go down. The arched side is going to be up in the open area of the caliper bracket. Same with this side. Just like that. Just make sure they move. All right, just take a rag, clean this pin up. The reason why we didn't take this pin off is because the parking brake cable is in the way of the bolt, so you can't take that off unless you take the parking brake cable off. And just take a little silicone paste or brake caliper lubricant and just lube that up. Not too much. I'm going to use a caliper compressing tool that has two little pins on it that as you compress the caliper, it's going to spin the caliper in. You need this special tool, otherwise the caliper is not going to compress. Get those pins lined up. The caliper piston. Get that set up. And before we compress the caliper, we're just going to open the bleeder screw. I am going to put a 11mm wrench on the bleeder screw. And then we're going to put a hose to collect the fluid. And we'll just tighten this. You can see as I tighten this, the fluid is going to come through. And a little bit of fluid came through, not too much. Now we can snug that bleeder screw up. That's good. Take off the hose. Take the wrench off. All right. Now I'm going to remove the tool. Piston's all the way down. Take the bracket with the pads in it, slide it over the pin. And then just flip it up. Oh, sometimes the anti-rattle clip gets in the way right here. Just need to push that down. I'll take the hanger off. Get the bolt started. Snug this bolt down. We'll torque it later. Just make sure the pads are spread. And slide those over the rotor. Take the bolts, get the bolt started. Get that started. Now tighten that down. It's a little bit tricky to get a torque wrench in there. If you can, you want to torque this to 55 foot-pounds. Do the best you can. And do the same with the top bolt. Tighten that down. Torque that to 55 foot-pounds. And torque the caliper bolt to 25 foot-pounds. Right there, and we didn't loosen that one up, so you don't have to tighten that one. And you want to step on the brake pedal, nice and slow. There's going to be an air gap between the caliper piston and the brake pads. About 5 times is good until the pedal feels good. And under the hood, you want to double check the brake fluid level. It should be right around there. You can see where the max line is, and then adjust accordingly. Take the wheel, slide it on, get it lined up. Put one of the lug bolts in. Snug that down, then you can let go of the wheel. And put the other ones in. And snug those down. Now I'm going to torque the lug bolts to 90 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. The center cap, where the hole is, you want that lined up with the valve stem. Tap it on. Take the little hook, put it back in the toolkit. And close it up. Put it back where it goes, lift the handle, and put the handle down.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.